So this is 2.5 years later, recording my labor and delivery story at Mass General Hospital in the, near the Red Line Charles MGH, and right next to the West End Library, where I did Tai Chi classes with Arthur. And that was before I was pregnant, before 2020. And then baby Victor came, I think it was the 39 weeks. I went in on a Monday with Dr. Taney, and she was my OB from the first trimester, I think. And she was my OBGYN, and she was wearing a mask, and I didn't really get to see her without mask. And I, had all the, low risk pregnancy in my 20s, so I went in for stuff. I didn't do the certain, testing for my partner, the father of baby Victor, and what else? I did ultrasounds. I did do lots of reading Extra Petite's blog, and then reading books and YouTube classes. I didn't want an epidural. I had, definitely didn't want any surgery, so no cesarean sections if possible. And I, this was in 2021, and I, confirmed my first pregnancy in, the fall with, a pregnancy test. So, and then all of these notes are on the patient gateway of the MGH portal online, but this is what I remember, and right now it's 9 p.m. My son is still next to me right now because we like to co-sleep often, and he's not feeling very well because I think he's having growth spurts. He's pretty still similar to when he was born, kind of long, tall, and pretty lean. So the labor part, my water broke at home way in the morning before 6 a.m. By the time we got to MGH, I called the hotline. They're like, oh, well, you can slowly come in so we can check if it's actually your water breaking. So that's the sac around the baby and the placenta. So yes, we go there and they're like, yes, this is definitely your sac. And this is definitely the fluids. So you can either go home and wait for active labor, and then, the baby's going to come out. Usually vaginal delivery. And then you will know when you need to be here if you want that hospital delivery, which I kind of did because, I wanted to have that experience, just because I didn't really want, we live around lots of people, neighbors, and I don't want them around, and I didn't want family or friends around, even if I knew some of them are very helpful, and they are oh yeah, I'm sharing my labor and delivery experiences in the San Francisco hospital I gave birth and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. But I just felt like the first 2 weeks I wanted nobody because I wanted, bonding time. And then, we get into the hang of it. Like, come on, if I just have the baby out of me, like, I need to transition into being not with the baby Victor and his placenta inside me, right? Yeah, so labored for, I don't really remember, because like they were like, okay, we're doing an induction with some stuff, so definitely eventually there was Pitocin. I don't really remember. I was trying to like tell the team, like the anesthesiologist, like I don't want the epidural. And I remember like I was using the shower. There was a shower, and there's like these yoga balls and like peanut shaped yoga balls, and like I was doing different positions and like moving, and they had like the monitors around me, like I think I had like IVs, and I think like they like were like, oh yeah, like she's just doing her thing. And then like I didn't have like any, I don't know, like a lot of people in the room other than the baby and the baby papa and me, and the team, which was like not a midwife team. I don't remember exactly, but there was like like something. And yeah, and then I thinking the baby is eventually gonna come out. And then like because he was calling people and telling people that I was at the hospital and la la la, like it was like already like, I don't remember, like middle of the day, like after noon or something, I think, by this time, when we were in the labor room. And then what else? I was like in a lot of, I just let it out, like the pain, because I think like Pitocin is like fake oxytocin, so obviously like that shifts the contractions and makes you active labor and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. So when you're in transition and then there's baby coming, and then obviously like if like you are not feeling it, I want to be like so I did, because I was like, okay. And I knew that like I didn't want an epidural because number one, it costs money, and I think number two, I don't know. But I did know that if it came to it, I would take it, because I was reading a lot of like comments everywhere. They're like, oh, like if trust yourself, and if you need it, just let them know, and they will do what they can. And so I told them, yes, I want the epidural. And then so they got the team in, and because we didn't do the like cervix dilation check at all from the day before when I went in for my 39-week checkup with Dr. Cheney. And so it was like Tuesday, and so she was on call, like she was the one delivering some babies, and including mine that day. And then so they're like, okay, if you don't take the epidural now, you're not gonna be able to. So they were like, and I was like, yes. In that moment, I was like, yes, I need the epidural, because I was screaming, because I was like annoyed. And then, having all this stuff happen to me, but this adult is not really like present with me. Instead, he's calling people on the phone and his la la la. And then after that, what else? And he took some pictures of me when I was like, but I remember that like I took some pictures, but like not when I was like, and like trying to like progress from water breaking and no contractions to having the baby vaginally. And then after I got the epidural, like the anesthesiologist, when she was like putting in, she was like, oh, like she's like a little like 5 feet Asian girl in a mask, and I was like, oh, I think she's like, maybe she's from my high school, like when I went to high school, maybe I know her, but I didn't really get that out until later. But so she was saying, oh, my epidural didn't work for me, but I was like, okay, but mine's worked and I could still feel. And so like, you know, like obviously I don't even know, but I felt calmer because, you know, whatever is in the stuff that like Pitocin and then the epidural and whatnot. And then I was in the bed just, I think, eating and drinking, like they had sodas and like Gatorade and stuff. So I was like, yes, snacker me. I like this. And then, because, you know, it's like, to me, like drinking those things is like eating. And I don't remember what else. But then I started throwing up. And one of the team members were like, okay, maybe you should stop drinking it if you keep on wanting to throw up. I was like, yeah, okay. So I stopped. And then I think like I remember someone in the team was like, okay, do not push. Like, I was like, okay. And then they're like, the baby is like almost out. Okay, we need to get the doctor in here. Cause like when they're like, oh yeah, you're dilated. And then Dr. Cheney came in. She was like, oh, hi. Like, I was like, how long do you guys, like, my baby will be here? And they're like, well, it really depends because you're a first time mother giving birth vaginally. So it's hard to say. It could be like hours or like very much more than 10 hours or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then it was like, I think like 9 o'clock. And then like he came in like the next like 10-15 minutes or something. But they were telling me, okay, wait for the Dr. Taney. She's coming. And then, yes, I don't remember. I think they had the mirror. And I think I was looking at it because I kind of remember that. But also, like, I had these, like, glasses that I ordered from sunnyoptical.com that I didn't really, like to use often. But I decided to use that. I'm, like, very nearsighted. So, I don't know. I don't really remember. But so, yeah, something like that. It's 9 p.m. And then I push. And then they're like, okay, yeah, he's out. And then I think they told him, okay, can you cut the umbilical cord connecting Mama Nancy and baby. And then he was like, I don't know. I think it's hard. I can't do it. And they're like, cut harder. And then he cut it. And then after he cut it, what else? Baby comes, out. They, push on the placenta part because my placenta needs to come out too. And then I don't remember. I think they immediately, I was like, oh, can you give it to him so he can have skin to skin and let him? They're like, no, we have to put him on you because that's like the new like skin to skin, blah 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 blah. And I was wearing the hospital gown from MGH, and I was wet because I just came out of the shower. I don't know, something like that. And then he comes out and he's like, covered in whatever. I don't really remember much, but like, it was like the golden hour, whatever, so that he breastfeeds and whatnot. And then he's like crawling towards my breast. I don't really remember which one, or like whatever. The lactation consultant people don't think they were IBCLCs, but just like certified lactation counselors. And yeah, and then after that they weighed him. So that was like when he was away from me for the first time. He was over there in the other corner of the room, so it's like 9 feet away. And then I have my phone, the same phone, and I take a picture of him next to his papa, and he's like, the papa's taking pictures of baby Victor over there, and it's like he's like less than 6 pounds, like 2.67, kilograms. Yeah. And then they say he's like 21 centimeters long. And then, yeah, that's the delivery part, my placenta. And yeah, the breastfeeding, the golden hour, the weighing. And then after that, oh yeah, like there's like people like giving us food coming in, like who work at the hospital. They're like, you have way too much stuff in this room. And I was like, okay. Yeah, anyway. And then there's the baby's little like plastic, I don't even know like what it's called, like a little baby container bed bassinet thing where he's sleeping. Oh, they have the swaddles that we used. And yeah, and then the little baby newborn hat, yes, which we still have. And then yeah, that's about it that I remember from my labor and delivery. It was the after part I don't want to talk about, but that's for another day. We can do it if the papa wants to do that part, and then baby Victor doesn't remember anything. So we have some pictures and videos, but like after they like gave me Tylenol, ibuprofen, and food, and we had lots of snacks, and we had a view. I think they put us into like a new room. Ow, Victor. That's like not the labor room. And then, oh yeah, and then like during the visit, I did, leave Victor in the room with Sasha, so I could just go. Ow, Victor. So I could just go see the outside of the Victor. Shit, it's, oh God. Oh, Victor. Honey. Holy God. Please. Okay, bye.